So if you're watching this later on YouTube and you see the apron go on, that means it is time for the second half of the chat. So the chats all together are 1 hour long, and we split them up. So Casey splits them up into two when she puts them on Facebook. So that, when she posts them on YouTube, which she will do tomorrow, but she splits them into two so that if you just need to see the second half, or if you just need to see the first half, which is the classroom portion, you'll know when this is. So first half, no apron, second half, apron. And pardon me just a moment while I move the receptor for the microphone so we don't block it, because I definitely don't want to mess that up. Okay, so Betty Ann just asked, what is pink in my water? So I'm going to tell you that real quick. This is the second half of chat number 235, and it was titled Reality Check. So I want you to go back and watch the first half of it if you're watching this later on YouTube, or if you're watching this later on Facebook, I want you to go back and watch the second half of that. But quickly, I'm going to tell you what's in my water. Oh, and Lynn wants to know if Alyssa and I made what we were going to make last week. So I made it, but Alyssa did not get to help me because we were too busy doing kid stuff. So I've got to figure out a way to get her to participate when we're trying to play. And she starts preschool tomorrow, so my time with her is getting ready to be limited. Maybe we'll start doing it at her house on Saturday nights. Anyway, really quickly, what's in my glass? Y'all know a few weeks ago we were trying, and I'm on the wrong side. We were trying the Everly drink mixes, and I was kind of complaining a little bit about how strong the grape is. I finally found something to do with the grape. So the grape Everly, and it's just EVERLY. It's drinkeverly.com is their website. Sorry, I didn't mean to scratch the microphone. But anyway, I finally found something to do with the grape. It makes amazing ice cubes. So I did 8 ounces of water and a teaspoon of the Everly, shook it up real good. I showed y'all a couple of weeks ago how I do that with the little shaker ball that you use for blending protein mixes. Use that to get it good and blended up, and then I made ice cubes with it. And then I put the ice cubes in the water, and it makes it the perfect mix. So here at the halfway mark, let's all go ahead and get our drink. And that is perfect. So using the grape, I've been making ice cubes with the other two also, but a couple of days ago I made the ice cubes with the grape, and I thought, oh, that's perfect because it has just enough grape flavor. When you make it full strength, I'm sorry, I think it's a little bit strong. The grape, the others are over here. The others are fantastic when they're their regular strength. The grape is a little strong. The grape in its full strength tastes like grape bubble yum, which is delicious, but I don't want to drink grape bubble yum. But if you want to try Drink Everly, you can get 10% off if you use, or is it 15? I'll have to go back and think. It's either Kelly 10 or Kelly 15, and now I'm thinking it's Kelly 15. Anyway, at checkout, and you can get a discount off of that. So let me get another sip. Okay, so we were just talking about a few minutes ago that this was the third week. So Tuesday was the third week that we had been back to in-person workshops for the Powell location, which is the one that I go to. And Sylvia, you'll have to go back and find it. So this was the third week, and everybody's like, how'd you do? How are you doing? Okay. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this exact number happened. And it is, thank you, Deborah, it's Kelly 15. So you can get 15% off of Everly drink mix at drinkeverly.com with the code Kelly 15, KELLY 15. Thank you, Deborah, for finding that. And they have lots of other flavors. Those are just the three. Those are the three that I'm trying right now. And I've been using them to make smoothies, ice cubes, all kinds of different things. Okay. So anyway, we've been talking about that, about going, good job, Barbara, about going back to in-person meetings, back in-person workshops. Somehow, 2 weeks in a row, I lost exactly 2.4 pounds. Still not really sure how that happened, but it was exactly 2.4 each week. Super pumped about it being 2.4. I just think it's odd that it was exactly the same amount. So what I've been doing this last week is I really concentrated on, because remember we talked about, and yes, it's on Facebook, Carol Lou, and I'll help you when we get done if somebody else doesn't help you. But it's just WW with Coach Gwen, and it is a closed group, but it's not private. Anyway, so what I focused on this last week, last week we were talking about picking two. So we were talking about picking two things. We listed 10 things that help make you successful, and then picking two of them. Oh, and thank you, Deborah. And picking two of them. So this last week, the two that I picked were mindful eating and purposeful tracking. So what I mean by mindful eating is really thinking about things before I put it in my mouth. Trying to be mindful about what I was eating. And then purposeful tracking. What I mean by purposeful is I was tracking with purpose. So I knew that I was tracking to. I will help you all find it later. I'll help you all find Gwen's group later. But anyway, so I was purposefully tracking, meaning that I was tracking before I was eating anything, so that I was 100% sure how many points it was before I put it in my mouth. Okay, so because this has been 18 months of eat something and then go to track it and go, whatever, I'm not tracking that. Who would track that? But I've been mindfully eating and purposefully tracking. Okay, I've been eating a lot of string cheese and fruit for lunch because, I don't have time. Oh, and Rita tracked and pre-planned. So I don't have time. I just don't have time to eat lunch at work. So since I've been trying to eat mindfully, I've eaten a lot of string cheese and fruit. I've eaten a lot of yogurt. I've eaten a lot of pre-made salads at home at night. And what I mean by pre-made, like my caprese salad. I've had homemade marinara a couple of nights on some whole wheat, pasta noodles, and I've had the salad that Alyssa and I were supposed to make last week, but I ended up making it by myself, and I'll have to show you that one later. I don't have it with me tonight, but I've been eating a lot of stuff like that. So this coming week, though, is a pop-up market. So we have a pop-up market here at Casey Kitchen Center this week on Wednesday through Saturday. So if you happen to be in Knoxville, you need to come by and see us. It's at 5902 Kingston Pike, and we will be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 until 4. So please come see us if you happen to be in the area. So this week is a pop-up market, which means it is going to be busy because it is hit the ground running every single day. So Tuesday through Saturday night, we will be slammed to the walls. So what I'm going to focus on this week is a plan that we use a lot when we're at Disney, and I just call it 2 on, 1 off. And that just means I've got 2 meals on plan and 1 meal that's off plan because we have a food truck coming all 4 days, and I ain't going to miss the food truck. So I'm doing 2 on, 1 off like we do when we're at Disney. And then the week after that, I have a new salesperson coming to Casey Kitchen Center. Thank you. Finally, some more help. And it's help before Casey goes on maternity leave, so I'm super happy about that. So the week after he comes to start, that week, what I'm going to focus on is walking again in the morning. Ooh, and Sylvia tracked all week this week. Good. But I'm going to focus on walking again in the morning. So walking in the mornings is something that I had done for, I'm trying to think, 20 years, I guess. Probably 20 years. I walked almost every single morning. I would take one, like Tuesday, I would take one morning a week off, but almost every single morning, when Karen and I lived next door to each other, we walked every morning. When we moved away from each other, we started walking on Monday mornings and on Sunday afternoons, but I was still walking every single day downtown. When COVID started, and then when my mom passed away, mornings just went away. We have been so busy here in the showroom, which is awesome and amazing, but I've been coming here at 5 and 5:30 in the morning instead of walking like I normally did. So anyway, that week after next is I'm going to be focused on getting back on track walking in the morning. So one of the things, though, that we did a couple of weeks ago, and I want to show you all how this turned out, and I want to show you how to make it, is this is going to be part of this 2 on and 1 off. So this is an important ingredient in the 2 on and 1 off for this coming week. So a couple of weeks ago, we made a test batch of fat-free cream cheese. So how many of you are having trouble finding fat-free cream cheese? So, Lisa, I'll have to go back and read that in a few minutes. Anyway, so how many of you are having trouble finding fat-free cream cheese? Like, we have it sometimes right across the street here at Food City. And when they have it, I usually grab a couple, and when they don't, I don't. Carol Lou, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. So Yeah, so, okay, Marlene has trouble finding it there. I know a lot of you all have trouble finding fat-free cream cheese, and Sandra does. So some of the recipes that we have on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com involve fat-free cream cheese, and some of you all have not been able to make them, or you have had to, or you've had to modify them, or you've had to modify the points because you haven't been able to find them, and Alicia's had trouble finding it. So what we did a couple of weeks ago, we did a test run, and with the test run, so it was cream cheese. I ate it as cream cheese. I ate it as cream cheese with like sugar-free, some kind of sugar-free jam. So like on a bagel thin or on a whole wheat English muffin or something like that. I'd use it as just regular cream cheese with some kind of sugar-free, which by the way, if y'all haven't seen the Smucker's sugar-free peach preserves, it's 0 points for a tablespoon. Oh my gosh. It's not a fresh peach, but it's pretty darn close. Yeah, it's really, really good. So I approve it. So it has my check mark of approval as just cream cheese. I also used it to make some of Winstar Karen's buffalo chicken dip, and the Winstar Karen's buffalo chicken dip is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com if you want to go see how to make that. It worked great like that. I also used it to make my cheesecake fruit dip, which is also already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And the cheesecake fruit dip is so light and fluffy. It's so light and fluffy. So remember I talked about eating a lot of fruit this week. It's fantastic. But I'm going to show you how to make the fat-free cream cheese, and then we are going to make something new. Okay, so how we make it. This is exactly what I did a couple of weeks ago. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, it still was pretty good in the refrigerator after 10 days. So the one that we made a couple of weeks ago, I held some of it out for 10 days and it was still pretty good. But you're going to need a piece of cheesecloth, and I doubled mine over because the cheesecloth that I had, the holes were pretty, well, you can see the holes are pretty big, so I doubled that over. And then I saw a bunch of different ways to make it on the internet. But I used a colander and I put it in a bowl that it's bigger than. So the colander is bigger than the bowl, and it's going to keep it off the bottom. See how that only goes part of the way in? That seemed to be one of the criteria. Some of the people were hanging it from something in the refrigerator. I wasn't going to hang it. So I put it in a colander, and then I put the colander in a bowl the colander is bigger than the bowl, so it's not sitting on the bottom. And then you put your cheesecloth in there. And again, I just doubled up some cheesecloth. You put it down there in the colander. And then, oh, and Carol Lou used coffee filters. That seems cool. That seems really cool. And she says it worked great. She said the coffee filters work great. So you don't even need cream cheese. You can use you don't even need cheesecloth. You can use the coffee filters. Okay. And then you're going to put however much cream cheese you want to make. So I'm going to make like a half a cup of cream cheese because I've already still got some cream cheese from the last batch that I made. So this will be time number 3. So I'm getting pretty good at this. So since I still have some and it lasts about 10 days, we're just going to make a half a cup. And so Carol Lou, tell me, so did you measure yours before you put it in oh, and Leslie uses paper towels. Did you measure yours before you put it in the coffee filters, or did you just go for it? The reason I'm asking is because what came out seemed to be pretty close inside. I mean, it was when it was all sweated off and all the liquid, as much of the liquid was gone as was going to go. It seemed like it was still pretty close to a cup because I made a cup of it the first time. Okay, so now, and again, we're doing a half of a cup tonight. You can totally do a cup. You can do as much as you want to, but I'm only doing a half of a cup tonight because, again, I already have some that I just made a couple of days ago. So this is what it's going to look like. I hope you can see that sitting in the cream cheese. So it literally just looks like yogurt sitting, I keep calling it cream cheese, in the cheesecloth. It literally just looks like yogurt sitting in the cheesecloth. And then I thought this was a nifty idea. They put a plate over the top of it. And so I found a plate that was almost exactly the same size as the top of the colander so that it wouldn't go down in there. And then you put this in the refrigerator I did it for 24 hours, and it seemed to turn out, 24 hours seemed to turn out better. Like it was actually cream cheese consistency. So You're going to put that in the refrigerator and leave it for at least 24 hours. So it sounds like you can do that with cheesecloth, coffee filters, paper towels. Who else has made fat-free cream cheese? Oh, and it started with non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So who else has made it, and what have you used? So again, when I looked on the internet to see how other people were doing it, some people were like using a rubber band around the top of the cheesecloth, and they had it like hanging on something in the refrigerator. That seemed a little extreme to me. The coffee filter seemed like a good idea. I might try that next time. The paper towels, of course, I own the cheesecloth now, so there's really no point in not using the cheesecloth. But does anybody have any questions about that before I show you something to make with it? So again, this is the consistency that it turned out. So when you're done, while y'all are thinking, when you're done, it's just cream cheese. I hate to say it's just like cream cheese, because it's cream cheese when you get done. It even tastes like cream cheese when you get done. So I'm under the assumption that because we made this with non-fat plain Greek yogurt, so that's what it looks like. It's just like a block of cream cheese. But I'm under the assumption that because we use non-fat plain Greek yogurt to make this, that if you are on purple, that this is still 0 points. So who agrees with me? Who agrees that because we use non-fat plain Greek yogurt to make this, that even though the liquid is gone, or most of the liquid is gone, this should still be the same number of points? Who agrees with? That's how I'm counting it. So I'm hoping that you all count it this way too. So this actually makes, if you do a cup makes, oh, Leslie's been doing it forever. Wait, she makes it with Skyr yogurt, very mild and less open. It went away, Leslie. I'll have to wait till it comes back around on down here on my phone. But anyway, I think it should. So I have officially switched over to this. So thank you all for encouraging me to make this. And I know Orlando Debbie was talking about it one week, but thank you all for encouraging me to make this, because I'm totally counting this as, as 0 right now, because I'm on purple right now. But anyway, so it turns out like this. It is just like, it's cream cheese. It's cream cheese when you get done. So I don't know. Look how fluffy that is. It's literally cream cheese. So I don't know what they, oh yeah, and Cynthia just reminded me that non-fat plain Greek yogurt is also 0 on blue. So it would be 0 for her also. I don't know what extra ingredient there is in commercially made fat-free cream cheese, though, that makes it points. I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. And I should have researched that before we started talking tonight. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to make with this, because again, excellent. It was so good, just as cream cheese. So good. I didn't need any bagels, but like if you had a bagel thin, and I think bagel thins for a whole bagel thin is 3 points. I think each half is 1 point, but if you eat the whole thing, it's 3 points. It would be excellent on a toasted bagel thin. Really good on an English muffin, something like that. This would be fantastic to make the everything but the bagel cream cheese recipe that we have on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. I haven't tried that yet, but it would be fantastic for that, because I'm telling you, it's behaving just like regular cream cheese, because it's cream cheese. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with the fact that we've made cream cheese. It's just cream cheese. But so some of the things that we tested it on taste great as cream cheese. Ooh, Lizzie says it tastes great on 2 ingredient bagels. See, that would be good too. That would be great too. With the sugar-free preserves, it was excellent. As Windstar Karen's buffalo chicken dip, which is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The recipe for the everything but the bagel cream cheese is also on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The cheesecake fruit dip is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. But we're going to make a new thing tonight. So I don't know how many of you remember how bitter I am that as soon as I found whipped peanut butter, it was off the shelf. It came off the shelves. So, I literally was able to purchase 1 jar of whipped peanut butter before it was removed from the shelves. And I don't know why. Like, I must have bought the last jar that they had across the street at Food City. So how do you all like your peanut butter? What's your favorite way to eat peanut butter? I'm going to give you all just a second because I don't think it's going to take me 10 minutes to make this. But what's your favorite way to eat peanut butter? And I'll show you mine. Do, 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 do. Oh, come on. Type. What's your favorite way to eat peanut butter? Hi, Vicky. Oh, Vicky's in Muni, St. Louis. At an outdoor theater? Kathy, that's me too. I'll tell you what Kathy said in a second in case you didn't see it. Tag says PB&J. Alicia says, anyway. Ooh, and Katie likes the chunky style. Kathy says just about anyway. Sylvia says on crackers. Denise says by the spoonful. Okay, so that is my favorite way to eat peanut butter. By the spoonful. So I love peanut butter on apples. I love it on bananas. I love it as a sandwich. I love it on anything. My favorite way to eat peanut butter is straight out of the jar on a spoon. Okay, so for those of us who love to eat peanut butter, excuse me. For those of us who love to eat peanut butter straight out of the jar or any other way, ooh, with honey. Lynn says with honey. And hello, Vicky. So we're going to make something, we're going to make a new way to eat peanut butter tonight. So since the whipped is gone, and since I'm having so much fun with and thank you, Cynthia, since I'm having so much fun with the new cream cheese, and I'm going to keep calling it cream cheese. Thank you, Barbara, even though it's cream cheese. I'm just going to have to start calling it cream cheese. But I'm having so much fun with it that we're going to make something new. So this is going to be whipped. So we have a whipped cream cheese recipe on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So this is going to be a whipped peanut butter cream cheese, okay? And I'm so excited, I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk because I'm so excited. So on the normal whipped cream cheese recipe that's on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, you do 8 ounces of fat-free cream cheese of like commercially prepared. Hello, Orlando Debbie. Look, we made cream cheese. We really made cream cheese. So we're getting ready to make something out of it. But it turned out perfectly. So thank you for all of your advice on that. But on the on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, we have we have a recipe for whipped cream cheese, and on that one we're using a block. So it's an 8-ounce block of fat-free cream cheese and 1 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Since this is cream cheese that we made, since this is fat-free cream cheese that we made, we're going to use equal amounts. So if it's a half a cup of fat-free cream cheese that we made, and a half a cup of, then we're going to use a half a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt or non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Tonight I'm only going to make a half a cup and a half a cup because I want to be able to eat this, and I've got to use part of the fat-free cream cheese that we had left. So we're just going to do a half a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And this is going to make, if you do a half a cup and a half a cup, it's going to make approximately 16 tablespoons. So it would be 16 servings that are approximately 1 tablespoon each. It fluffs it up enough that it, it's a little bit more than a tablespoon, but so we want to do a half a cup of that. Then we're going to do a half a cup of our cream cheese. And I didn't do the air quotes that time. I just called it cream cheese. But I mean, look at that. It's so stinking fluffy. It's so fluffy already. And it's cream cheese. Okay, so we're going to do a half a cup of that. So this is a half a cup of our fat-free cream cheese. And the fat-free cream cheese recipe will be on, I mean, it's so easy, it's not even funny, but it will be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com probably Tuesday. I think I'd say she'll have it on there by Tuesday. Okay. So we're going to do, so we did a half a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt and a half a cup of our fat-free cream cheese. And I get to eat that much. Okay, and then to that, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of real peanut butter. So I like Smart Balance Chunky, so we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of real peanut butter, your preference, whatever kind of real peanut butter you like. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of that. And then we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of any kind of peanut powder. So this one happens to be almond butter powder, but you can do peanut powder, you can do PB2, you can do anything like that. So we're going to do 4 tablespoons of that, and then I'm going to grab some water real quick just in case we need it. Okay, and the water is for while you're fluffing. So if it's not quite getting fluffy enough, you can add just a teeny tiny bit of water to it. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of whatever your favorite kind of sweetener is. So I used PB2. I'm not PB2. I used Truvia baking blend. You could do monk fruit. I know a lot of y'all use monk fruit sweetener. You can do anything like that. Okay, the only reason we're going to mix it together just a tiny bit first before we get the actual mixer out, and I better hurry, before I get the actual mixer out, is because I want to get that peanut powder, and I'm going to put just a tiny bit of water in there just to make sure that the peanut powder doesn't come flying out when I turn the mixer on. Okay. And believe it or not, this is easier if you do a bigger batch. So if you do a cup and a cup, it's easier than doing a half a cup and a half a cup, but we're going to do a half a cup and a half a cup. Okay. And because I'm eating this, I get to use my fingers. And I get to preview it. Okay, then you just want to take your mixer with the beaters on there. And this is just like the whipped cream cheese recipe. So if you all were here for that chat, I'm sorry it's so noisy, but if you all were here for that chat, you just run the beaters in there. You don't have to put them on super high because you're just trying to whip it. That's what makes it whipped. And again, it's easier if you do a cup and a cup. Good night, Betty Ann. It's easier if you do a cup and a cup because then you've got kind of more to grab onto. But this is a half a cup and a half a cup. And that is about good. That is plenty mixed up and that is plenty whipped. So, look how pretty this is. Look how nice and pretty that is. And it is peanut butter. So that is peanut butter whipped cream cheese. And we are going to try this. Actually, I can just eat it off the spoon. But we're going to try this on an English muffin, on a half of a high fiber English muffin. You could put this on a bagel thin. You could just eat it off the spoon. You could use this for dessert. You can use it to dip bananas. You can use it as an apple, like as a fruit dip. But we are going to try it real quick before you all go to bed. We're going to try this on the English muffin. Okay, so whipped peanut butter cream cheese on an English muffin. I can tell y'all I will be eating this on bananas this week. It's going to be fantastic. So let's see how this is. Very peanut buttery. I'm telling you, I will never buy cream cheese again. So, if you're having trouble, it's 1 point. It makes 16 tablespoons. Thank you, Kathy, for asking that. It makes 16 tablespoons, approximately 16 tablespoons, depending on how fluffy you can get it. And it is 1 point per tablespoon. That is going to satisfy my peanut butter craving. So for those of you who have been looking for, hunting for, begging for, trying to find fat-free cream cheese, I'll never buy fat-free cream cheese again. I'm just going to start making my own cream cheese. That was so easy. So it's however much cream cheese you want to make, put that much non-fat plain Greek yogurt in, if you make it like I do, in a bowl, in a colander, in some cream cheese, I keep calling it cream cheese, in some cheesecloth. Put a plate over the top of it, let that sit in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. A couple of y'all said coffee filters, and then I think it was Ashley, am I saying the right name? Said that she uses paper towels and she's been doing it forever. So that was so stinking easy. I'm still shocked. I'm still kind of shocked, but it was so stinking easy, and it is amazing, and it is fluffy. So here is the regular cream cheese. And then there is the peanut butter whipped cream cheese. So anyway, don't forget, make your own fat-free cream cheese. You can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and see all of those recipes that have the commercially purchased fat-free cream cheese in it. Take those points off, because we just made fat-free cream cheese out of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So y'all have a great evening. I hope you will check this out on YouTube later. I hope when Jessica gets the recipes posted on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com later this week that you will check those out, and that you have an amazing, amazing week, and we will see you next time. Good night. Oh, sorry. If you're watching this on YouTube, please watch the next video, pretty please. And if you haven't already subscribed, please click this button down here to subscribe, and go ahead and click that little bell to be notified the next time that we have a video post. So again, good night. I'll see y'all next week. Good night.